All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believing on the gospel. And it's the brother Kwara Abad from the GMS Houston camp. And real briefly, I want to go into a quick little news update. Shouldn't be not long. I was just scrolling through the news and I seen this article. And it kind of sparked my spirit to want to touch on it real briefly. And as you see, it says Florida is now sending troops into Texas for additional help at the border. And then you go up here. I'm gonna read this article real quick from RT News. Now, again, what sparked my spirit when I seen this article is to the point that we know as as Yahweh Shai said, which we'll get that verse. If a kingdom is divided against itself, then how could it stand? You see, if a kingdom is divided against itself, then how can it stand? You know, and we've been seeing as of late different news articles and videos of Texas, right, defending themselves at the border, right, setting up different fences to keep these migrants out, since America, right, their own government can't do it, since President Joe Biden and his cabinet, right, have been passing laws and legislation to let these, as they would call the Northern Kingdom of Israel, aliens. They've been passing all these laws to let these South America, Central Americans, Arabs, Chinese people, so on and so forth. But they've been letting them in, man. Thousands a day, tens of thousands a day. Hold on real quick. Yeah, Salakia. Been sending multiple thousands of troops in America daily, man. So America, in other words, haven't been defending their states. You see, letting these people in here, and as I said right here, has been an invasion. So Texas took it upon themselves to say, look, we go defend our own borders. We're gonna set up our own troops on our own borders. So, what is this an example of? Seeing the government ain't gonna do it, now these states are starting to take matters into their own hands. And another thing that, and I'm gonna read this article, but another thing that sparked my spirit to want to do this lesson is that, remember a couple months ago or last month, it was that talk about the new movie that's coming out this year in 2024. It's called Civil War, right? It's called Civil War, which we're in the time of a civil war. And I mind you, if states want to separate and don't want to listen to the government, what that's going to lead to a civil war. But if y'all remember this, if y'all seen the trailer, but in this movie Civil War, at the beginning of the trailer, what did they say? They said that Texas and California succeeded America. So even in this movie of Civil War that's coming out in 2024, Texas separated from America. Right? Texas, it says succeeded America in a movie, and I read a little bit of it. And when you go into that word succeed, it says to withdraw formally from a membership of a federal union, right? So the point I want to touch on this article is that we definitely living into the times to where we can see disagreements happen between American states, to where they don't want to listen to the government, and these different states start to join together against the government itself, man. And that's not far-fetched. Make laws and laws and legislation for their own states, especially if we coming into the times that it might not be a election. Who knows what it's gonna be like, man? You see, so let's read a little bit in this article, and I end it. So this was put out 2 hours ago. It's from RT News. It says Florida sends troops to stop migrant invasion. It says around 1,000 National Guardsmen will help Texas fortify the U.S. and Mexico border. So again, since America couldn't call the shots themselves, these states are doing it. First Texas, and then as Texas did it, the government still came and said y'all can't do it, and Texas said no, we gonna do it. The government started taking down their wires, and Texas put them back up, and it went to the Supreme Court, and so it's a battle. Now, as we said on a Thursday Live last week, eventually we're gonna start seeing more red states that's going back Texas. Even some blue states might start backing Texas, man, and want to help Texas. Then what's gonna happen? So it says around 1,000 National Guardsmen will help Texas fortify the U.S. and Mexico border. Governor Ron DeSantis has announced that he will deploy members of the Florida National Guard to assist Texas in repelling an invasion of illegal immigrants. U.S. President Joe Biden's administration has fought to prevent Texas from sealing the border. And the question will be why? Why is Joe Biden and his team, the government, stopping Texas from them not letting these immigrants in? Clearly, it's an agenda. They want them to come in. Why would you stop them? So that's what these other states seeing. Hold on. You stopping Texas from them letting these people in their border. Well, we got a problem with it too, because, Americans, this is our America. You can't do that. So again, these other states are going to start to get down with Texas against the government. It says roughly 1,000 soldiers will be sent to Texas. DeSantis' office said in a statement on Thursday, and this was put out 2 hours ago. It says they will be joined by members of the Florida State Guard and around 90 members of various Florida law enforcement agencies already at the border. It says states have every right to defend their sovereignty, and we are pleased to increase our support to Texas at the Lone Star State. It's like it says, as the Lone Star State works to stop the invasion across the border. DeSantis said, our reinforcements will help Texas to add additional barriers, including razor wire along the border. So see, they willing to go against the government, because right here, it was explaining how Texas was putting up this razor wire. The government was tearing it down. Well, Florida, they saying, well, we coming to help add additional barriers, including razor wire along the border. So you see how these states, they don't care what this government got to say no more, man. They don't respect Biden them. Man, let me get a precept first. Kingdom divided. Let's get that. Let's get that first. Let's get some precepts. This is this Mark 3. Woo, man, check this out. Check this NLT version out. Hey, I gotta throw this in my article now. Check this out. This is Mark 3 and 24. Let's read the KJV first. It says, if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And America is divided, not just the people, right? The gender, the right wing, left wing, even states, the government itself. Shit, within the government is divided, but now even the states is divided from the government. It's all supposed to be one. But check this out. Since we're speaking about leading to a civil war, this is the NLT version. Mark 3 and 24 NLT. A kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. A kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. And what we seeing, Texas against the government, Florida agreeing with Texas against the government, that's going to lead to other states joining the bandwagon. And guess what's going to happen to this kingdom? It's going to eventually collapse, man. And you even got, I heard there's a talk about Russia, and I don't know how true that is, about Russia put out a article or something saying how they willing to supply Texans with guns against America. And I don't know how true that is. That's just something I heard. I have to look it up. I tried to, I ain't really find too much on it. But I heard might have had some truth to it. Who knows? But in speaking that, I did find this article. It says Russians are gleeful over the U.S. border crisis, and they said the Texas People's Republic. Russia a little excited about it. I'm gonna read a little bit. It says Russians are sharing. Now, this is from Newsweek.com, put out a couple of days ago. It says Russians And I'm gonna go back to the other one. Russians are sharing their glee on social media over the U.S. border crisis, expressing their support for the Lone Star State to declare independence from the United States. You see, it says the Texas Nationalist Movement, also known as Texit, is the largest organization promoting that the state leave the U.S. A Supreme Court decision on January 22nd to allow federal officials to remove parts of a razor wire barrier that Texas Governor Greg Abbott had installed along the border with Mexico to deter illegal migration, emboldened the case. So you see, so a lot of people are on Texas side against America, even so much so Russia. You know, Russia, man. So we're in exciting times. We definitely in exciting times. So let's finish up this article real quick. And again, it says Florida sends troops to stop immigrant invasion. So these troops on their way right now. On their way right now. Right. I read this again. It says this is what Florida says. States have every right to defend their sovereignty, and we are pleased to increase our support to Texas as the Lone Star State works to stop the invasion across the border. So states agreeing with Texas, not the government, man. It says our reinforcements will help Texas to add additional barriers. Look, so Florida is directly or indirectly going against America too, because they saying the same barriers that Biden and the government tore down, the same razor wire they tore down. Well, we sending Florida reinforcements to build it back up. We sending Florida reinforcements to build the barriers back up and to include the razor wires again. They standing with Texas. It says we don't have a country if we don't have a border. And that's how a lot of these states gonna think. So they're gonna be willing to help out each other to keep their country, man. You see? Let me see if there's anything else good in here. Check this out. So it says Texas Governor Greg Abbott vowed to defy the ruling and install more wires. So Greg Abbott in Texas, he ain't budging. And Florida said, look, we like that he ain't budging, and we ain't gonna budge either. Come on, man. It says Texas Governor Greg Abbott vowed to defy the ruling and install more wire, arguing that Biden administration had neglected the constitutional obligation to enforce federal immigration law and that his duty to protect his constant constant hold on constant let me see constituents supersedes any federal laws. Although the Department of Homeland Security gave Abbott 3 days to begin removing the obstacles last month, a U.S. Customs and Border Patrol official told Fox News that the agency had no plans to move in and destroy the barriers after Abbott ignored the deadline. So, in other words, after Abbott said, look, I'm not listening to y'all, they said, okay. They said, okay. So once these other states start to see Texas get a little power and a little say so, as it might seem, they gonna want to join in. You see? They gonna want to join in. Is this anything worth reading? Okay, so that's pretty much it. So we see Texas Florida sending troops, over 1,000 troops as we speak right now, to help out Texas against these immigrants and against who else? Against the government itself. Now, again, when I read that article, it made me think about this movie that's coming out called Civil War. I'm sure we already seen it. It's coming out in 2024. But at the beginning of the trailer, what was one thing, and it hit my spirit once I seen this, what was one thing that was said in this movie trailer? How Texas in the movie, in Civil War, the movie Civil War that's coming out in 2024, in the movie it said how Texas and California succeeded the United States. They separated from the Union. And now we actually see going into 2024, when it looked like Civil War gonna happen, like the movie, Texas seemed like they're gonna do as the movie said, man. Separate themselves, whether it's them and California, them and Florida, them and other people, because it just don't gotta be red states. It could be anybody. Look, California and Texas, that's different views right there. Completely different views. But when times get hard against the government, they'll probably band together. It's not far-fetched. So even in the movie, they said, as we seeing it playing out today, Texas fighting against the government, even in this Civil War movie that's coming out in 2024. I'll read a little bit of it. This from Fox News. It says, new movie. This was put out December 13th. It says, new movie has social media scratching heads over Texas and California alliance. It says, Texas and California. That's a tweet from one user over supposed partnership of Texas and California in a new movie called Civil War. The alliance between the red and the blue states has several social media users wondering why opposites would join forces, because it's an easy thing to understand. Yes, it's red and blue states, Americans having differences amongst each other, but with so-called immigrants coming in, flooding America, trust me, these Americans would band together quickly, whether they red or blue, right wing, left wing, Biden or Trump, against these so-called immigrants if they had to. And that's what we seeing right now with who? Florida and Texas against who? These immigrants. So it's easy thing to understand these states will band together and fight against the government to help again save their America. You see? Matter of fact, the brother got a pre-sub. I was gonna get that. Let's get it now since he posted it. There's the brother Barab Yahawashai 144. It says Isaiah 19:2, and I will set the Egyptians. Who is that? That's a so-called white man. That's the new Egyptians. Revelation 11:8, the spiritual Egypt. It says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, Esau against Esau, American against American, Florida and Texas against the government. It says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight, everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, Florida against this place, Texas against this place, Florida and Texas against Washington, D.C., state against state, city against city. We seeing these things play out. It says, and kingdom against kingdom. You see? And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. That same patriotic spirit, and and God bless America. Even Americans saying F the other side. You see? Come on, man. The Lord completely separating this place. It says, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the traumas and to them that have familiar spirits and to wizards, man. You see? So the Lord doing this thing. But that's pretty much it. So I finished reading. It says Civil War, a movie being produced by A24, is about a dystopian future of the US with at least 19 states, including Texas and California, seceded from the country. What seceded mean? Seceded to withdraw formally from membership of a federal union, alliance, or political or religious group. So in this movie, Civil War, that's coming out in a couple months this year, 2024, in the movie, 19 states, including Texas and California, separated from the country, man. And it says rallying against the federal government. So again, we seeing examples leading to that. This might be the year of the Civil War. Since we seeing Florida sending troops to help Texas against his own government by letting these troops, immigrants in. And let me get one more and I end it. This 2 Esdras 13. I think it's going to say the same thing as you read in Isaiah 19, city against city. Yep, Isaiah 13, 2 Esdras 13 and 31. It says, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another, man. So cities, states go be fighting against each other. Let me see what it's saying, GNT. But I ended on that. I just wanted to touch on that real quick, little news update. Seeing Florida sending people to help Texas, man. Check this out. 2 Esdras 13 and 31 in the GNT. There will begin to make wars against one another, city against city, region against region. Right? Nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom, man. And when that happens, the signs I told you about earlier will take place, and then my son will and then I will reveal my son. So we seeing that city against city, kingdom against kingdom, wars, rumors of wars, state against state. And the Lord said, when these things begin and all these signs happen, eventually you're gonna see Jacob's trouble take place, and then I will reveal my son, whom you saw as a man coming out of the sea. So we're in that time, man. You see, America can't get along. And again, what Yahweh Shai said, if a kingdom be divided against itself, it can't stand. It can't stand. So I'm gonna leave it right there, Lord willing. Yeah, like the brother said, this is a perfect chess game. That's it. And the Most High doing this thing, making the right moves at the right times, man. You see, but just wanted to do a little quick update on that, Lord willing. This was Zedaphon. Want to give all praise, honor, glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rachak double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Akim out there who pushing his word with the truth and sincerity, and as well as all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. Ate the water, to all you Akim Akwafu tuned in, Yahweh Shemel Shah Brakatham, and with that, Shalom.